This video is going to be breaking down the new patch on defense, how to improve your defense through a Division 2 coaching session. If you guys want your own coaching session, check me out at medify.gg in the description below.
Is going to be working
Defense,
on defense.
right? Okay.
I know the defense was locked down before the patch, but after the patch, it's terrible. So.
Yeah. So,
but my offense is fixed.
But you remember our structured defense, right? I assume you've seen that video, so you understand like the format.
Yes.
And plus, you're a coach yourself, so
yeah.
So like we just didn't even animate. So the main thing.
Okay, so the first thing. All right. So these are the things. I'll take you through the things I see.
Sure.
And you tell me what you see. Do you want to do it that way?
Yeah. We can do that. Just tell me when to pause.
Okay, so pause here. Okay, great. So I see I got my back four is well organized. This is good. I got Guendouzi. He's back. He's in a decent position. So I want to grab De Jong and pull him back right now because he's a little bit out of position. So that's my goal here. But first I'm running back with the CB, of course. Okay, so yeah, continue. Okay, yeah, so I'm doing that. I just picked up De Jong. I'm trying to get him in position. Okay, cool. Okay, now freeze here. See how my left back is going outside of Saka?
Yep.
I've noticed since the patch that the fullbacks keep doing that.
Yeah, that's going to keep happening.
I might not do it in this clip, but even if I pull this fullback inside of Saka, he will then go drift outside again the second I swap off him.
Yeah, so this is more of like this is like traditional FIFA. This is like mostly a traditional FIFA thing because the way I play this is like I would hit this and I hit a creative run. This year has been extremely hard because this guy likes to stay like right on the inside, which is technical, and that's what we want, right?
Yeah, that's the correct way to do it.
And so this is where it's just going to create a scenario of multiplayer switching. So, and that's where you have to go back and forth between these guys and then drag this back and then down and then back and then down and then back and then down. And then like kind of use R1 to like kind of just keep that momentum into like the zone you're trying to reach. And this is an old FIFA technique because this is like how the game used to be without even like R1. And so you would basically have to like move all your players. And so like this guy would go all the way out here. And so you'd be like dragging here. And then this one's going up. So you'd have to drag him down. And so you have to nudge him back into that space.
Okay.
And so it's a higher, So, and that's why you're probably getting a lot more goals is because players aren't educated on this. And so the games I've played, this hasn't been a huge issue for me because I'm so used to this style of gameplay. I just, and recognize this. But for somebody that's relatively new or hasn't mastered this technique, because I've been playing since FIFA 10.
Yeah, exactly. I struggle with this technique.
Yeah, and this is that multiplayer switch, and so you really have to focus. So like right now, I'd be switching here because your momentum's carrying you into this position, and so it's about momentum. And so then I would be prepping and ready for like a third rotation, and so you're fine. It's just like right here. And so you have to almost be ready for it to expand out. So it's like right here, instead of switching him from this point, you want to switch him from this point, and you're just being more efficient as a gamer. So it's like a gamer technique versus a like.
I got to recognize that this is a thing now with the patch and just pull them in.
Yeah. But if you look, I mean, the AI does a pretty good job when it comes into like the far post side. So like as the ball's rotating.
Well, this guy could argue that this guy should be goal side of his winger, which is also
he should be, but relatively, it's not terrible. So it would be like this coming across if you played like even FIFA 21. It would be what I mean by is actually the space.
Where he is right now is
right here. It would be more like this. So it'd be like this in FIFA 21. And so they kind of reverted the intelligence. It looks like just a hair. And so like it would be when the rotation comes over. And so you would have to, as this ball rotates, you'd almost have to just grab this guy and pull him in and then push it like that. So you'd have to do that. And so it's just, but here's the thing. This tool is 100% free to help you guys trade and tell you when to buy and when to sell, giving you guys alerts on everything that you want to trade. Check out FCalert.ai to get this free portfolio tracker. And if you want an AI to tell you what to buy and go off of the suggestions that it recommends, you guys can do so with only a price of a meal at McDonald's. Join the beta today and start trading and unleashing the power of AI. You recognize this as a defender, so where should you try to exploit as an attacker? The same concept, right? And so but that's exactly where he goes into attack position.
Yeah. Okay, so now here's the next moment. Oh yeah, so that was about to be the next moment. Once I didn't pull the fullback in on time. Okay, so yeah, keep going. You'll see it when the ball gets between Turam and
this is where you made your mistake. So you're fine here.
Yeah,
and we need to like drag like that instead of like this and that.
Yeah, I got a bad switch, right? So if we go back a little, see how I got selected on Zico. I was trying to get to my
Young, right?
Because look, the arrow is on him, and but you're just, I guess,
but you're going like this,
like the little.
Yeah, I guess that means you might be going like
the little indicator was on De Jong, so I thought, I'm gonna pick De Jong and go like straight up.
Yeah.
So that's what screwed me there, which is fine.
But I'm gonna say that's why you always want a right stick, but or typically the only let me explain how I use L1. I use right stick like 85% of the time. The only time I ever use L1 is when the ball is only going in like a direct path this way. Because if it's going direct, it can't like pop or switch on you, really. So it has to be like it's, you know what I mean? But if the ball's rotating from this to this to this, it could be here, 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 depending on the speed and timing of it. And so you're going to mess up going this way because of how many different people it's going to link to. But that's number one. Number two, I relatively only use it if, let's say I accidentally player switch up here with my right stick and I wanted to be here. I would...
Yeah, instead of flipping through three players, you can just kind of click LB.
And I know where I'm going to go. I use closest to ball. So then what do? Is I've taught myself a habit of LB, and then what happens? What's my habit? I've tried to teach this in the past.
And then you're going to be dragging your guy back towards the net.
Boom, directly towards goal. So my habit is L1 and then direct towards goal. That gives me enough relative concepts of time, which, I mean, we're talking like, we're talking about like 0.5 seconds, right? Between that movement. Yeah. But sometimes that's all an opponent needs to score on you. But like also,
right. It's 0.5 seconds. But if you're dragging your guy back towards net, maybe you turn that into 0.6 seconds.
All right. But what I'm trying to say, I gain an advantage. Like I'm becoming mechanically efficient. You know what I mean? Like it's if I give up a little space here, I don't really care, right? Maybe I could have intercepted the ball. What happens if I accidentally switched off of a player there? I'd rather manage. You see what I'm trying to say? It's a probability thing.
Too aggressive of a defensive mentality.
Exactly.
Sometimes is bad.
And so when you start charging, this is where I'd be like, and that's completely different. But
I see. I want to get in that passing lane. Okay, great. So now here's the next issue. Okay, so I'm jockeying with VVD. He jockeys so freaking slow. I don't know why.
Yeah,
this is so slow.
So now you're scared, and so
now I'm beat. Yeah.
This is just class. This is classic 1v1. Like this is like mentality and like speed mechanics. So because you already know the awareness. You're aware that if he attacks you here, he's gonna go through
with a prod, and that's going.
Right. And the finesse shots in the box are phenomenal now, and I'm actually really excited about that. But here's the thing. When you're right here, so let's step back here. Let's think about this.
Yeah.
What is VVD's strength as a defender?
Tackling.
Tackling. I was gonna say outside of the defensive capability. Sorry, his body type.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a big boy.
He's big, 6'4", so he can his like hitbox can reach to like these.
Yeah, he's got aura. He's got aura.
But what's his flaws?
Well, looks like he's bad at jockeying. He's slow on acceleration.
Yes. So that acceleration value. So the moment from here to like here is going to be tough, but you're going to be able to beat him to like here. You see what I'm trying to say? He'll beat you to like maybe like this spot and maybe cut in through you. And so but the challenge is what? You can't allow this pass either. And
Yes.
so you have
Because so once again, look at my center back, not goal side. Like
I understand.
we need AI to help us a little bit.
I know, but this is the problem we as gamers talk about all the time is what was the biggest problem in the past like 2 years is the AI has been too good. And so this is like a flaw of like the community that like when we're defending, we want the AI to be insanely powerful, and then when we're attacking, we want it to be insanely terrible.
Well, to be fair, in the last patch, I was good with the attacking AI. I just felt like I had to get better.
I know I understand what you mean.
Yeah,
And
yeah. But
and
that's just because I'm a defensive minded guy and I
I
like a
agree.
2-1 score
I'm a
line. It's
defensive
hard to
minded
sit
guy
in
as
the
well. So
pocket.
I'm with
Yeah.
you. But I have just gone through this topic in the community so many times, and it's
Yeah.
like
I get it. I get it.
we get
I totally get it.
yeah.
But like, yeah.
It's like
People would basically rather have an 8-6 game where you have to manually defend everything than
so
to have a 2-1.
exactly. I would rather have that and not people finesse shotting from deep to be able to actually have the game developers only shooting from deep to keep people playing the game so they can score, right? Um,
Yeah.
and so, anyways, that's kind of the concept, I think. But basically, you're in a really tough spot. And so, when this happens, this is what I call the diamond shift or a pinch. So, if you have time, do you have time to pinch? And what I mean by a pinch is which way should who ideally should to win a tackle right now if he goes this way?
Ideally, Van Dyke should win this. I mean, sorry. Ideally, Taram should win the
Exactly.
tackle, and Van Dyke should come in and cover.
Yes. And
Ideally,
so, it should be
but
like
he's
this.
already out of position, Taram, because you'd rather mark empty space.
What's the problem if we step here? Then he can pass it right through here, right? If we
Or
step down.
yes, but now, okay. So here's my thing. Let's say I pull VVD, like on the clock. What is that? 4 o'clock backwards. Let's say I pull him towards 4 o'clock, right?
Yeah,
Which is, what you're advocating for right
right.
now.
He's gonna speed
Um,
boost,
he's gonna
right?
do the L1 speed boost
Hmm.
exactly, and I'm fussed,
Right. So
especially with the scoring mechanics right
so
now.
this is where I recommend trying to do some sort of hybrid movement. So instead of going like this, because you're hard set to one spot, right? You're hard set to
Mhm,
one spot. But
mhm.
if you go like this,
So closer to 3 o'clock.
kind of,
Okay.
yeah, or even like if you go straight back, you kind of open it up. But if you go in like this, like in this angle right
Yeah.
here, you're gonna set yourself up. Even if he speed boosts, he can really only speed boost to like this spot. You're still setting yourself
Right.
up in a position to where he's gonna have to pause again to try a boost, and then you're gonna be able to get Tehran back. And so I really think we just need to. So you step like this, which kills your momentum slightly. And
Well, look at my stick.
I understand, but it's a jockey movement. So I guess based off of the movement. So like if you actually
I
look right here, here's your movement,
Yeah, and then I pull my stick towards the
and
goal.
then you
Yeah,
go.
right
And so
there.
that's where you kill your momentum. But anyways, it's not bad because you still have Turam to be able to cut down, and this is where you make a mistake. So he
Okay.
either has to make this in brilliant pass right through here, right, which he may have been able to. But I want you to see is just really misusing your fullback is because right here you're hard set to defend that pass. Now you have to hold
Right.
him in. And if you're holding
So I
R1,
have to go select my fullback and drag him in,
not
even though like
necessarily, not
intuitively.
necessarily. You want to go this is where you don't have enough time. You have to go center back. This is why I get called
Yeah,
getting
so I'm on
switched off.
center back.
So you're
Yeah.
switched off. And so
Okay, so how do I get my fullback in the play?
let
Because
me
that
ask
is
you
ideally what I need.
I'm gonna have you answer this because I think it's pretty obvious right here.
Well, how do I get? So you're saying I can use R1?
Yeah, why? Which way is R1 gonna take him? You think it's gonna go like that, right?
Contain? Yeah, I guess contain goes right to the ball, right? The
Yeah,
R1 contain
but
or
if he's
whatever.
gonna speed boost, which way is he gonna end up rotate? Is he gonna go?
There.
He's gonna go like into like this movement, which is still better than And so basically it's just misuse of using R1. So you have to use R1. And so let me explain when we want to use R1.
It's not
What
even a
was
misuse, it's just not using it at all.
Yeah, you just
Okay.
didn't. Well, it's still a misuse. I consider
Okay,
it.
yeah,
Like if
yeah, I
you don't
understand.
use mechanic, but it's not. I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's a whole. Never mind. But when we use
Okay.
R1, I want you to understand R1 should be used technically for pinching and pressing. And so if we're not pressing a player like into multiplayer switching, what we want to do is use it to pinch or build structure type of concept, right? So if it's not pressing, the concept is simple. So when these are three of the attacking lanes, right? All we want to do
Yeah.
is I think you
And
see
even
this.
my left back, like if we just look at his screen, my left back is literally being useless. There's
Oh,
nobody out wide.
I know, I know. Trust me, trust me. I'm well aware of this, but I'm actually would rather this is gonna make you feel like on the other side of the game. It's gonna make you feel a lot better
Yeah,
about the
I
game.
feel like inside forwards are definitely overpowered right now when I'm
And so
attacking.
but basically R1 should be utilized like this. And this is that multiplayer switching concept again, because
Mhm.
basically to really master this, this is what I call the diamond shape, right? And so if he attacks you like this and you miss that position, now what's he gonna most likely gonna do as your pace is getting heavy because your start pace, start to here is terrible, and then your
Mhm.
start to here is horrendous, but your
Yeah.
position to like here is going to be good, right?
Yeah.
So when you start holding down R1, you're essentially saying I am hard committing to this location, which in this specific position I would say is relatively not great, right? And so
Yeah.
all he has to do is just stop and cut. And this is a movement. This is a type of movement that I mean, I
I mean,
am.
I still manage this cut correctly because I expect him to cut back at that point. And I even managed this all right, but this guy's just completely unmarked. So I have to cut it out basically earlier at this
Yeah,
moment that you were saying.
yeah.
Because once we're in the box, like I need AI to at least mark the player in the box, not just leave him
So
empty.
this is where double R1 comes in, and so like right now is you want to hit double R1, so you can see he's starting to animate, which this is a harder skill, if you know what I'm talking about.
I
Um,
do know what you're talking about because I screwed it up trying to do it in the next clip.
yeah, okay, okay. And so this is where he's gonna mark here, and he's gonna mark here, and
Yeah.
usually it's gonna be about here in that space. I have noticed the AI is not as good in that spot, and that's okay. But here's the thing: is last second here, we also missed a tackle mechanic. So I don't think you animated right. So you see how you're still coming this way, which he turns and shifts. And so I don't think we ever actually activated tackle.
No, I wasn't in a tackling position. He was back to my player. If
Right.
I tackle there, I'll give up a pen.
So when you are right
If I tackle like that, isn't it going to be a penalty shot?
where
He
I
has his
think
back to my player the whole time.
you need to like step right here. But yes, he does
So
have
you think if I push B here, if I push B here,
not
I'll
not
actually
this.
tackle the ball and not give up a pen.
If you tackle it this way, you're going to give up a pin. If you tackle it this way, you probably maybe even block the ball. And so it's a micro mechanic.
Oh wow,
Yep.
really?
Because you
Okay. Oh, this
think
is eye opening.
think about
Okay.
it. Let's think of it as a gamer, right? Let's think of it as like a game
Now the
developer.
ball's on his left foot.
Yeah, the ball's kind of on his right. Whatever, but it's not necessarily about the ball location. It's about like where the hitbox is going to be because the hitbox is like right here, right? But the game animates in a bigger hitbox location if you think of it. And so where's the hitbox? Like this is how I kind of see a pass. So if I see or like a dribble, like a slow dribble, let's imagine the ball's right here. A slow dribble the hitbox is gonna be really tight. What does the L stick look like? It looks probably like a
Yeah,
little bit bigger,
a little
right?
bit bigger,
And then
right? Got
sprint
it.
is
And if
gonna be
you're,
right, but it's not
yeah,
necessarily just like that. What I really recognize it is it's gonna be like a semicircle, right? So it's gonna be actually like
yeah,
because there's gonna be almost they're gonna try to have it no
Yeah,
ball.
it's a straight line where your body's hitbox is between the ball and the defender. I
Right.
understand.
And so when we think about sprint, the ball location is going to be really heavy here. It's going to be nothing here, and it's going to be really heavy here. That's how I see it. And the same thing with the knock on. It's going to be like this. And so that's why when the ball when you knock the ball and the goalkeeper, basically what happens is you're knocking the ball, and then it's like it enters like the front part of that, and the goalkeeper somehow gets to it, and you're like, wait, I just wanted to knock it to like here. I didn't want to knock it over here. Why did it's just the way it animates, right? So the same
Sounds
thing's
good.
happening here with the pass. The ball's like no hitbox here, but then there's like this weird hitbox going to be like there might be a hitbox right here. So like is what I'm trying to say is like there might be that spot and there's going to be that spot. So if you hit here, you may miss it. If you hit here, you might hit it. And that's anyways, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm going to say is it's going to come down to like RNG variables. It's going to come down to timing. It's going to come down to like ball location.
Really got to cut it out earlier there.
Yeah.
So,
but ultimately, that whole part is mostly about timing, right? So it's like, all right, not timing, timing your fullback, right? Getting that fullback to
so you'll see I'm beating this guy 4-1 now.
Yes, that's good.
The same guy. Okay, so I outright right here, I make a mistake with my fullback and I'm out of position. Okay, and then I go for a slide tackle for some reason, and
Very
I'm
smart.
really out of position.
Shows high level intelligence right there. Yes.
Good, perfect. So
I'm giving you a hard time.
Now that we're past this mistake,
okay,
I'm gonna try and defend without my fullback.
Okay,
so this is like
too far.
Emergency defending.
You're too far wide.
Okay, so this is what's going through my mind. So hold on, yeah.
There you go.
Okay,
That's
so
better.
I pull him in. Okay, cool. So what's going through my mind on the first portion, if you want to rewind it, is if I don't pull somebody in that space, my center back will just not randomly, but the AI will just drag my center back out there.
Yeah, and honestly,
so I need to do that MPS thing.
You're not. Yes, exactly. Yes, perfect. Yeah, it's multiplayer switch. Yeah, so basically it's like right here, and so now I would be using R1, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it feel. I'm gonna pull him more like. So this is what it's gonna look like. It's gonna be like this, and then that, and then this, and then that. But it may not be that quick. It might be more like this.
Right. Yeah, I was never going to commit to this ball, but I just wanted him to feel like I was going to commit to the ball.
Exactly. So yes. Yes. And that's what multiplayer switching does.
I had the idea of what you're doing, but I just used a different mechanic because I'm not. I need to work on it.
No, you understand it, and that's good. I'm actually really glad you the way you talked about it just now. It tells me you completely understand it. And so now we really need to like set here because you're in a fine spot here. So it's just switch back and forth and then rotate. And so you're fine.
Yeah.
We're okay. And then you're
dragging my guy back in.
And so now that's a lack of players.
Now I try an RB1 thing.
You're fine.
Dudes at the top
you're fine. You're fine. You made so you did the RB double RB fine. The problem is right here is you pulled your
Oh, I was in control of the CDM.
Yeah, so you actually played it fine. It's just that
I need to
look. You're in the path. You're playing this perfect, and then you're like, you know what? Here you go. you know.
Yeah. So this is kind of what happened though. So when I did the double RB1, I thought in my brain what was going to happen was so keep going. Okay, freeze right here. Freeze. Okay, great. I thought when I do double RB1, what would happen is my left center back, it's an Evo I'm doing right now, would go towards the ball. Yeah. Exactly.
No, that doesn't happen.
I thought my right center back would go towards the defender.
Yeah,
I thought that's
it's going to go like this.
RB1 would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no way to get. So there's no way to get there's no way to get the AI to like go press the ball.
No, you can't. They want you to press.
I need you to explain to me how the double RB1 mechanic works so I understand.
What happens
the guy closest to the ball pressures the ball, and then the next closest guy picks up the man.
Not at all.
But it doesn't do that.
What it does is it takes the closest defender or the closest attackers, and it takes the closest defenders to those attackers. So if you look at this, who's the closest defender to this guy right here?
The closest defender is the nearest defender. Yeah. So
Right.
even though intuitively I would think that Van Dijk should go pick him up since he's not marking anybody, and my other center back should go to the ball.
Yep.
There's no actual real way to do it.
And so what you actually want to do is switch to him and then a double RB. Because now you're cutting passing lane, and then he's going to snag here because now that's going to ignore, and then he's going to like drag back, or this is going to still connect. So this is where you so usually when I use double R1, usually it's when I am one-on-one and I'm trying, and there's usually like a cut angle like in this position, right? These like back, these back passes.
Yeah.
And all I'm trying to do is cut the lane. And so what I try to force is if I have one attacker here and he's going to try to pass it here, I'm going to switch to John Stones. And I am going to stay within that lane, right? And I'm going to double R1. So even if he somehow cuts behind, he's locked. And then I know that he's most likely going to either rotate or shoot from here. So basically, this is a trap. So if he passes it here, I'm significantly overpowered mechanically. So the second I see his animation turn, right? So if his animation starts to turn this way, who am I going to try to now pinch to? Here, am I going to grab the CDM or am I
basically I understand this situation exactly what I want, but in order to mechanically do what I want, what I really need to have happen is I need to have my center back selected. I need to go to the ball with my center back and then double RB1.
Yeah, exactly.
So if I have my center back selected going to the ball, then the double RB1 will pick up the two nearest passing options.
And what I don't know is if the game is
going to... If I were to use single RB1, then my center back would go to the ball while I'm controlling my CDM.
Yeah, and then you're going to leave space open.
Okay, so basically double RB1 and single RB1 work actually with different mechanics, even though it's the same thing.
Correct. Yeah. So one's pressing the ball.
I now understand it.
The only thing is it's not perfect in the sense that if I use John Stones here, will this one get picked up 100%? But what I don't know, or this player is going to get picked up 100%. What I don't know is if it's going to take VVD or Guendouzi because of the space. I think it's going to take VVD. But
I think it's going to take VVD because then the next closest player to be marked has to be Guendouzi.
It might still be De Jong for Vieira. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Right.
So that's where there's flaws. So basically, whenever you use this, there's timing on it, and so what you'll see you'll see me or you'll see a higher level pro. What they end up doing is you'll double RB and you'll drag. And then this one might be the wrong player, and so then you wait half a second, and then you do it again, and so like you pull them, you just bring it in tight. It's like multiplayer switching, but you're double RB, hold, let go, double RB, hold, and then it switches those players. It's really tough.
Cool. Now that I'm mentally aware of this, I'm gonna try and incorporate it into my game. Perfect.
It's really hard. Yeah, it's really hard because this is one of those things that you have to mentally prep for and you have to practice. But the first step of this is saying, when do I use it? And then you're like, I should have used it there.
Exactly. And that's where I'm at right now.
Okay.
So I kind of understand when to use it, but I didn't understand how it works.
That's the most important thing is once you understand when, then you're going to get into that scenario and then you're going to get scored on because you're going to use it incorrectly. But I want you to understand that because I always talk about development, right? And I always talk about did you watch that? Yeah, I think you watched the boot camp video, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's very, very important to understand that regressive nature is going to happen before you actually improve because you're going to open up space drastically because you're going to double R1 and it might pull this just like this. But you use it the right timing. The timing's fine, right? It's just the player switching position, right?
I just thought it was.
And so you see how it's all jumbled up now. Yep. Now I'd let go, right? So it would be like if I did this. I already accomplished what I wanted to do here. I've already accomplished what I wanted to do here. Let go. Boom. Drag in. And that's how I see it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm trying to say? And so that's an adjustment. But
Yeah.
but
Sounds good.
awesome.
Okay, now the first half of this game is 5-4, so I think the best use of time is to only deal with goal scoring moments.
Sure.
Otherwise, we'll be here all day.
Yeah, we're already halfway through. Okay, wow. Yeah. It's just 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
Okay. Turn, open space. Oh, easy.
Yeah, and that's those scores. So that's nothing.
Yes.
That's a
So, but if
problem.
you, I want you to see this just mechanically. So when you're doing this, so you see how the run's coming on the interior here?
Yeah.
That's actually really important to see because mechanic allows you to take that spot. You see how he steps and animates?
Mhm.
You remember in the update it actually talks about what? It talks about tackle from behind are going to be less consistent. That's consistency.
Yeah.
So this is actually
Yeah,
something
that
really
makes
good
sense.
for
So
us.
that play, I used to just pull my striker back towards the
Mhm.
midfield and then try to link something.
And so I'm okay with you taking that. The only thing is, I only want to see it really when it's one-on-one, just like this. And you have
Right.
like a fast player. And it's nice to be able to actually outpace a center back now instead of just getting clustered. You know what I mean?
So
Okay.
I concede a goal
Ooh,
somewhere around.
just really high.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Well, yeah, it's
instantly
his
drag
striker
back.
though.
Yep. And then there's the, oop, he cuts you. Yep. And then you're stuck. Yeah. So
Yeah.
this
So
actually
let's go
happened right
right.
here.
So I just let his striker have the ball in the mid. Should
Yeah.
just allow it. Okay, sounds good.
Well, you can still step here. I don't care if you step here. You just can't go out wide with it once you step. So now you need to track back because this is what happens. I want
Yeah.
you to see this is
Yeah.
actually really important
So okay,
AI.
can we notice though that my center back decides to go press him without me doing anything? The AI just decided that that's
Yes,
what will
yes.
happen.
And this is AI control. So think of tactics. So I like to say you are the tactics. Custom tactics are only like an outcome. It's a control center. It's like we're trying to control the AI, right? But the
Yeah.
problem is, do you have VVD on stopper or defender or what do you have?
I have him on defender with defender plus with
Okay,
like
good.
defend
That's
role,
what it should.
and I'm playing on balanced with 40 depth.
Okay, so relatively, what you're trying to tell the AI is not to step forward like that at all, right?
Yes,
And
yes,
so that's what we're
exactly.
trying to do. But the AI is hard coded this season to where if you're not controlling a player and the ball gets pressed into this position, it's going to step. So,
Yeah, I noticed that, and I was like, "Well, there's a big gap,"
oh,
and I
I
panicked.
know. This is actually what I'm
Yeah,
actually attacking. As a gamer, this is what I attack. Like if I'm in tactically, this is actually very common in real life for players to step like this and then step back,
yeah.
right? And they have like kind of like let it go and release.
Oh yeah, I do that when I'm playing. Yep, totally get it. Just I don't, I
Right,
don't
right.
expose that bad.
Right, right.
Yeah,
But
got it.
okay, so what we need to do is really get to this spot to show the AI that
Yeah,
we
my
are
problem
marked.
is that I have Hansen selected at any point. Like I should just not care that he has the ball out wide, and I
Right.
should be getting my CDMs back in
Boom.
shape right away.
Perfect. Exactly.
Got it.
The only thing
Okay, and
is,
that'll kind of and then it just snowballs from here. So honestly, the rest of the plays are almost irrelevant.
well, you
Huge
actually
snowball
step
effect.
high. So you actually have a recovery position right now, but you
Yeah.
end up
Okay.
stepping. So like the ball gets
I
right
think I was
here.
trying to select Young. Oh no. Oh,
Now
let's
we
see. I don't know why
step
that was going.
down. And so we actually stepped up. And then that allows you to make it look like he's going to pass here, which then you cut. And then now you've actually created the space,
Yeah,
which,
so I was trying to select Young, not Van Dyke. I can tell based on where my stick was
yeah.
pointed.
And then from
And
here,
that's
it's a
probably
little,
one of the other mistakes. I should have tried to select Van Dyke and drag him back.
it's close, man.
So, and
But
then,
here's the thing is at
yeah,
this level in like Division 2, Division 1, a lot of the players you're playing, like right now, I haven't played this game much relatively in the last like 3 weeks. Or since really the season start. I'm in Division 2, so like there's what I mean, like if we're in the same region,
yeah,
you're gonna be coming up against Smurfs, you're gonna be coming up against elite players, you're gonna be coming up against high level players in this division. And so Like,
I
understand
don't
that.
think this guy's high level, but yeah.
But like, you are gonna like. I mean, the thing about it though is this. I know I like to say the Dunning-Kruger effect is always huge and massive when it comes to like where we see ourselves as a skill level. Because me at my skill level, I can tell you my flaws. Like, really, I can tell you almost anybody's flaws, but I can also tell you that I'm not anywhere, good right now. But like, I'm probably still a top 25,000 player, but I'm not good right now. You know what I mean? Based off of like where I am in skill, and so it's like. But like right here is he still had to pull you down and then still hit that position. So he still did things correctly, and then he had to shield you away from this spot and then turn you this way to create a little tiny space.
Yeah, the little turn event,
Yeah.
this inside touch he did
So
was
when
good.
you say the player's bad, I just totally disagree. I think he did some things.
No, I didn't say he's bad. I just didn't think he was relatively good. Anyways,
Sure.
let's see.
But ultimately, what I'm trying to say is keep the mentality high because you are gonna be playing higher. You are gonna be playing players that are relatively skilled, and they're going to you make one mistake, and they're going to be able to capitalize on it.
I go up 4-1 now.
Right.
So
let's see.
You probably just fast forward this, to be honest.
I think, but don't you score here? Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. I go up 4-1, and then he's gonna make it 5-4 before the end of the half.
Okay, so we're doing defense, right? Not.
Yeah. Well, also just like Oh, we missed. Sorry, my bad. I thought it was 4-1.
It's all good.
Okay, so I'm trying to drag him in. Trying to bring my CDM back. He goes back out after I had dragged him in already.
Yeah. There's the same. It's the same cut. The exact same cut. This is classic. This is a classic Gambit. So
in my brain, what's happening is drag the left back in to tighten him up and get to my CDM and pull him back.
Yep.
But it's very slow mechanically because I'm an old man.
Sure. I think you actually take too hard of a step here, and we actually need to be focusing more on this location.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm getting sucked to the ball too much. I need to learn more about the space.
That rotation is going to kill you, and he's not going to be able to pinch between three players.
Yeah, it's almost like he has R9 on like false 9 or something. He keeps coming into the midfield with him.
And then you have to step because you don't have a CDM. So there's the.
So let me see what happened with the center back because I did really bad with him.
I think he did bad here. Because right here, now you're in a jockey position. Now, again, we have to use that R1. Bring him in. That fullback
this is the R1 thing with Duran that we talked about.
It's just on the opposite side. And so now you're cutting.
I also got where I needed to go towards goal. I just went straight down to the ball. That was a big mistake.
So you're not going to the ball. You're actually going for a cut pass. But it's a timing thing. The idea here is, like, I like to say in poker, what's the rule of poker? Don't show the other team your card, right? Don't show your cards, right? That's like the first rule. The main thing is let's just break this back to fundamentals, right? Because I know you're a coach, but like, bringing back fundamentals is ideal, right? And so what are the areas to attack? And I talk about this as like in that video, the perfect defense is there's 3 ways they can attack: 1, 2, and 3. And I just want to cover.
I'm worried about blocking the A gap right now.
Right,
and the B gap.
I know that this is going to be relatively slow because you understand a lot of this. I just want to confirm everything here. And so what we need to do is in this scenario is we ultimately need to cut out this and level 1 and this level 2, right? And so the problem is we cannot get into a mind game here with our center back just yet. Yeah. And so believe it or not, this is actually a place where double R1 is going to work. And the reason why is right here and right here. These guys are going to lock and they're going to drag down just like that.
Right, because my guy's not going to go to the ball because that's not what double R1 does, and I'm controlling the guy closest to the ball anyways.
This is an
double R1 marks the 2 nearest players. It doesn't actually pressure the ball.
Right, so this is actually an expert use of it, but this is going to be extremely hard because the window to do this is relatively really small. and you have to have a scenario that's very specific like this, where they're both marking. And so
Do I
then,
need to hold double R1 for it to continue marking, or like
yeah,
once we
yeah,
start
yeah,
marking, like it's
yeah.
good?
But
Like,
I
oh,
don't
okay,
want you to focus on that. I want you to
okay.
focus more on getting this defender back. And
Yeah, that single RB motion we talked
right,
about with Turam and the other clip. Yeah, I
because
got it.
what do I always say is level one this way, right? And then it's out
Okay.
wide. Now this is just a different scenario where they're attacking what I call the B or the A gap, A B C gap, right?
Mhm,
And so they're
mhm.
attacking the A gap, and so we need to essentially pinch here, but we don't want to pinch with the center back. Why?
Because that's the last line of defense. If he gets beat, I'm screwed.
Yeah, well, we open up like the back. We open up this angle, right? Like a level 2 attack, like direct lane,
Okay.
right? And so ultimately, we need to get him into this position and force him to turn and cut this way and make it very algorithmic, or force him wide. So that's how I see this happening. And so what I look at is just doing this and getting him to start to turn this way and rotating down, or doing what I call the diamond defense, which if you don't have that much time, it's ultimately you get a step high and then he shifts like into a position like this. So it's like,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
see that diamond,
got it.
yeah, I guess it's kind of a you see what I'm trying to say though,
Yeah.
like this. Anyways, so yeah, that's how I see that spot. And so again, this is the exact same scenario as the other one, right? So it's the exact same thing. It's just inverted. Um, but but yeah. So here's another one. Set piece. So we're stepping really high. So now we have broken our wing side. So now step down, and there's a jump. So now this is look like you got a little tilted right here,
Yup.
and then you're getting broken. So I mean, this is what I call wave defense. This is when we're just not playing in structure at all. We're just attack one.
Yeah. No, I got tilted for
Yeah,
sure.
attack one, attack two. There's three. There's four. Right. That's usually what it looks like. And
Yeah.
so we know honestly I
Yeah,
think
no, I'm just tilted. That's not how I normally
the
defend.
easiest concept I want you to think about from today's session is literally
Mhm.
you need to work on the mechanics between multiplayer switching back and forth, which I mean, I don't need to tell you how to do it, right? Right stick or L1, right?
Yeah,
And
no, I
come
get it. I
and
get it.
pull those
Yeah.
guys in. And that's like
Mhm.
80% of it. The rest of what you should be focused on is really getting that CDM into like this location instead of
Yeah,
this. And just because they're on
yeah.
this side, and I know you're prepping for this movement, but just remember that this is aggressive and this is passive. And depending on the location of where your fullback is, should you be aggressive or
Mhm.
passive? And so
Right.
your
Okay.
fullback position is going to almost always be in a what? In an aggressive spot now. So you should
Yeah.
relatively lean towards passive. In a month ago,
Right.
this fullback was in a
Well, that was
passive.
passive, so you could do more.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why you were
That
able
makes
to
sense.
press a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah,
And so,
that
anyways,
makes
I
sense.
think that's what we really found. And
Brilliant.
I did notice Intercept Plus is broken. Intercept Plus is
That's good ways.
defensively. I would recommend getting Intercept Plus
Yeah.
players. They're
Yeah.
yeah, like I've noticed standard through passes aren't like phenomenal like this every single time
Oh, did we
anymore.
miss my goal?
Or
Oh.
I thought we were just doing the goals on you.
Yeah, we are, we
Okay.
are, we are. I just wasn't sure what was happening. Okay, cool. So scored.
Okay, there's a bounce. Okay, so now,
That's a break point.
yeah, that's a break. Yeah, but we have plenty of time. We're still
Yeah,
up numbers and tactics. What should be going through our head?
yeah. I guess I should be pulling my CBs back and my fullbacks in, and try to get my CDMs back.
Yeah, I'm okay with actually a step of pressure here. I'm actually okay with this. But what's the main concept that we need to make sure that we do not do in this scenario?
Well, I don't want to open up a gap behind my center back for that winger to get into.
Yeah, I don't want to break this point, right? We don't want
Yeah.
to break that zone.
Yep.
So let's see what happens. It's close. It's close. But you hold it. But what's the problem?
Yeah, look how high he is compared to the rest of the line. Now there's a gap for his winger, whoever the hell that is,
And
to
there you
get
go.
in.
Yeah. Now he's
Yeah.
just flying through.
Although I don't know why my fullback is behind my center back. That is a real life no. My
Yeah.
fullback should
Well,
never be behind my center back.
if you there, I think a lot of fullbacks play like this, and the reason why is they're supposed to be able to beat you to this space. But the problem is he
Yeah,
starts to run this
those guys
way,
can just keep
and he
outside.
needs to go
Yeah.
interior, and so there's that separation. I don't know if he meant to do this, but if
Well, I meant to get to my center back.
no him, I don't know if did he do a creative run? He did. Dude, that's my signature move. That's actually an expert level.
Oh, okay. So this guy
That's
is
my
good.
signature
Okay.
move. Yeah,
Oh,
that's it, man. I mean, I can read that.
all right, good. I feel better.
Honestly,
Okay.
honestly, this is not going to happen to you as frequent, and that's why this AI starts to run straight. Is because that creative run throws it off. But and I mean, this is like my signature move. This is like,
Yeah.
this is my favorite move. This is it.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, oh, whoop, back a little too far. But yeah, so like I would do. Wait, that yellow card's really throwing me off. Okay, yeah, that's no. Honestly, that's a tough spot. So actually, let's go back to it. I just want to touch it one more time because, or what?
Yeah.
Let's just do it right here. So this is why I want. Oh, whoop, that's why. Is it this one? That yellow card's really throwing me off. Or was it? Yeah, it was Vinny, right? Okay, yeah. Okay, so no, where? What moment was it? Oh, it was this
Oh,
one. It was
yeah,
this one.
this one
Sorry, it was this one.
right here.
Yeah. So right when we get into this spot right here, I'm okay with this pressure. But now is we back.
Go
Boom.
back.
Now we break. Because
Yes.
you stepping here is relatively
Mhm.
inefficient. We need to step here and
Yeah.
go back.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how you that's anyways. That's actually a really good move though. That's a extremely tough goal. Not really extremely, but it's just like it's like,
Oh, yeah, I
I'm
understand.
trying to say. Oh, is that perfectly timed? It was.
I did that. I think I did the L1 R1
Dude, this
Y.
was
I learned that.
yeah, this is perfect. See the animation coming off this shoulder here. Dude, that's a brilliant pass. That's fantastic. The only problem is close, so this is where we need to think about attacking a player. Where what are you going to be faster to? This point or
Well, I'm experimenting with this new patch now because the speed actually makes a big
it
difference,
does
especially with guys like Vinny.
this point right here, and so you break that spot. But the problem is, you see how you continue to go. We need to cut in, and so that's actually where he
Okay.
adjusts.
I'm used to just ripping this far post right here, and it normally
Yeah,
goes
honestly,
in.
hit a finesse shot now. If you set this up for
Yeah.
just a right foot, just even if it's just like right here. I mean, this is mini
Yeah.
mechanic. Dude, those finesse shots are so strong now. They're
Yeah.
very nice.
I'm used to those going in.
Okay, off a
Anyways,
break
okay.
point though.
You get one more.
So now we step high. We're broken again. Step in, step in.
Pulling back. Trying to pull in. Okay, I'm screwed.
Oof.
Center back.
Okay, pulls out. I think this is where they get scored. Boom. Ball bounces. We're behind. And again, we're getting switched on. So is it only your defense from this point, or is it your defense off of a break point that is probably more the issue? I think it's over here. And so,
Yeah, probably because I'm flustered when I lose the ball in the middle of the park like that.
So like right here, yeah. So the break. So I just want to show. So we're in a great spot. Great spot. Great spot. No need to rush that play, but and take that touch. So I remember how you had that goal earlier.
Yeah, take the touch away. Yeah.
I want you to see the. I want you to see the angle that you're receiving this. So remember earlier he was running like this, and
Yeah, more inside, right. Yeah.
and so to hit this, you have to be like that.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Or I take the touch outside, serve inside. Yeah, if I take the touch towards Vinny, then Vinny's on. Yeah, especially with a creative run.
I
Yeah.
yeah, potentially. Okay, from that point, now what you're doing is you're stepping here, and I'm okay with a step. But there's a big problem when you step with your CDMs. What happens when you step with these guys?
East is left in behind the pocket between the CDMs and the center back, which is actually exactly where
Expands.
they want to get the ball to. Yeah.
Exactly. This expands, right? And so
Yeah.
these guys come forward. And so then this expands. So what I want you to do is if you're doing this, this is when this is the pro level offside trap. Boom.
Yeah, that way it keeps the line tight.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough though, because if you hit that offside trap and they're passing straight through, boop, you're gone, right? But basically, when this is where I'd hit an offside trap.
I'd rather just not pull my CDMs up. I'd rather just focus on keeping my
That's fine.
CDMs
You can
back.
do both. Well,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to show you because you already know that though, right? You already know how to
Mhm.
do that. It's just that when you're choosing to play aggressive, because there's gonna be moments when it's in the 85th minute,
Yeah.
and
Right.
you'll need to do this, and then they get this, and you're like, but you'll end up
Yeah.
offside trap. Anyways, there's that same move again. So you're gonna see that again and again and again and again and again and again from guys that do this because that's our favorite play. Sets up the
Yeah.
run.
My problem is I'm bringing my center back up.
Dude might watch my
Wow, that's
content.
actually deja vu. That's like the same play.
Yeah. I mean, every single goal you got scored on the same play like 3 times and 2 times, right?
Yeah.
And so,
This game ends 8-8.
oh man. Are you
Yeah.
reported? I thought you were gonna report him though.
No, I didn't report him. I messaged him on Xbox saying, "Gotta love this patch. 9 goals in one half."
Yeah. Oh man.
So, yeah.
There's that step again. And yeah, we're just behind the play now. And
Yeah,
so,
no, we're good. We're good. I only wanted to deal with the first half anyways.
okay.
I knew the second half I was kind of on tilt. And
Yeah,
I wasn't playing good.
we still have about 10
Yeah.
minutes left. Are there anything?
It's okay. It's okay. I don't want to honestly, I feel like this is a good spot. Feel like I just got to keep playing as well with this patch and just I got to really focus on pulling my fullbacks in and work on this multiplayer switching.
Yeah, honestly,
So
it's going to be probably the most important.
also I feel like the pinged pass is less needed. Like they've really increased the speed of the passing.
They have.
So what made that play?
I think the ping pass is going to be important on the first touch of the opponent or of your player. Outside of
That
that,
entire play irritated me that I didn't score there.
right here.
Yeah, this entire play that I didn't score is so no. Like
Oh,
this right
dude.
here.
Oh, you sprint. You take a sprint touch
Yeah.
right here. Take a sprint touch.
Yeah. Yeah. I
If you
gotta
just,
use RB.
the second you get into this
It's
spot,
slowly using RB more though. I'm probably using RB like 30% of the time now
yeah,
instead of 0% of the time. So I gotta just move that to
use it more like
80% of the time.
10%. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotta use
Right.
R1, whatever it's called. I gotta use R1 80% of the time, is what I was saying. Instead of like I moved it from 0 to 30%, slowly moving up.
Yeah, yeah. Just be aware that that's like habitually you can create issues, but just make sure you're aware of that. But like right here, you're
Yeah.
doing fine. And so you do this cut move and then he guesses, but that's when we have to cut back.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
tough. That's a speed thing. speed thing.
Yeah.
Oi.
No, I recognize it.
Yeah. But anyways, I mean, you're doing well. And the thing about it is,
Oh my god, I told Mrs. this. Oh no, he swear. Okay.
you're going to
good.
clean up some of your mistake. Like you made the same mistake. So realistically, if you clean that one scenario, it's like in chess. You know, you can learn all these different opens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you fall in the same trap, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
If the same player uses the same open, you don't know how to defend it, you're going to get scored on every single time. And so,
yeah. That play. Let's go back on that play. Those kind of goals really irritate me. Yeah. So first of all, now with the new patch, when the striker, when like R9 checks into that space, he just will get time on the ball. He just gets free time. Like the AI does not follow the run in. So that's fine.
yeah. So,
Yeah. I just feel so indefensible in these kind of situations.
this is probably why DVD's out. And so this is where I would be like this, and I'd be inviting this position. So this is like a level 3 movement. So technically, it's like we need a step.
Look at this ball he gets though. Over the top ball through De Jong into Vinny. Like
Yeah, this is BS. So this is by accident. But the problem is you end up stepping here, and this is why I say is like we really can't get sucked into this position because
yeah, you know what? That's a common problem. I keep doing that. Even
Yeah.
in that corner kick session we did.
Exactly. Yeah. When these scenarios happen, I'd rather like if that's if this is the
Give him the
crosshair,
ball.
right? Give him the ball,
Yeah.
and here's the crosshair. I just need to stay right here,
Yeah, I understand.
and then that allows that. But actually, if you look here, you're in a pretty good spot. You animate, but I want you to see this. This is gonna be very important on RNG variables. You're sprinting and you didn't touch B. If you let go of sprint, you hold down jockey and you click circle right at the right time, you might be able to block that. Maybe. If you have block plus, it'll.
Okay, it's so hard because so like in the first goal against that we did, where Van Dijk jockeyed so slowly.
Yeah. No, I get it. Trust me, I get it.
It's like that was me like don't hold sprint. But then when I don't hold sprint, they move so slow.
I know this guy.
I get beat.
That's his superpower, man. That's his play style plus.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm just trying to show you that's a mini mechanic. So like, but make sure you're hitting that tackle button when the animations are occurring because, it will block. You know what I'm trying to say, hitbox. And so what you're hoping for is as that ball is rotating into this position, there's that little zone, that little hitbox that you're trying to hit. You understand what I'm trying to say? And
I got it.
Little
okay,
hitbox,
John.
Yeah.
Guess
right,
what?
brother.
It's time to pack. Time to open 600 packs and get 2 of your features.
All right, man.
600 packs.
Sounds good, brother. All right, brother.
Yeah, sounds
I'll
good.
talk to you soon.
Yeah, buddy. Bye. Thank you.
Good luck on your packs. Take care, man.
Thanks.
All right, bye. Well, that's it for today's session. If you guys want more coaching sessions, check me out on all my YouTube content. Or if you want your own private, check me out at metafy.gg. Until next time, we'll see you guys in the next episode.